Hello, welcome to Evolve with Natu. My name is Natu. If this is the first time you're tuning in, welcome aboard. We love having you here. And if you're a returning subscriber, viewer, if you've been rocking with us for the last few days, weeks, months, thank you so much. Your support means a whole lot to me. And if you haven't subscribed yet, guess what? This is a friendly reminder to kindly do so. And make sure that you're sharing this channel with your family and friends. And also, feel free to share feedback on the content that you'd like to see more on this channel. So without further ado, I am going to be talking about my year 2023 in review. I have to admit, first things first, the new year kind of started late for me now. I was still in 2023 until like January 10th there, give or take. Normally by January 1st, I would have reflected on my the previous year rather. I would have had plans in place. But yeah, 2024 took a while to launch for me. I was just trying to find my way. Life was lifing, the adult was adulting, but here we are. The review is thankfully done and the plans are in process. Hopefully I'll get to share bits and pieces in the next few videos. Nothing too explicit, but hey, let's get started. So this video is going to be divided in 3 different parts. The first part is the year in review in 4 different quarters. The second part is the 5 things that I've learned in the last year, and then 5 or 6 things, give or take. And then the last part is going to be how I assess myself in 5 to 6 different pillars, how I performed last year, and what I would like to see improve this year. So let's get started. My year in 2023 was off to a great start. So the first quarter was stellar. I'd probably give it 9.5 out of 10. January started on a very high note. I was going to the gym, I was eating well, work was good, family is excellent, healthy, you name it, which set the tone for February, my favorite month. If you don't already know, I'm a Feb baby. I had wonderful birthday celebration. My family from Vancouver flew down. My sister and her husband and child flew down to come celebrate with me. This was my first birthday in Edmonton, and my family and friends in Edmonton also came through. It was a lovely affair. Loved every bit of it. It's probably one of my favorite birthday celebrations to date, and that says a lot because I do have almost celebrations every year since I was, I think, 21. But anyways, I digress. So the February was good. March was also an excellent month all around, partly because I officially launched my solo YouTube career. This channel, it was used to be with me and my 2 close friends, but life happened, I moved, and they gave me the blessings to move on my own, and here we are with Evolve with Natu. I have to admit we have gone through different name changes over the last year, but Evolve with Natu seems to be here to stay. Who knows? If the name changes, you guys will see and you will know. So the first quarter, we knocked it out of the park. We were good, baby. Second quarter, now this is April to June. Second quarter started really well. I flew to Vancouver to go celebrate Easter with my sister and her family. Had a great time. Did wonderful interviews with my sister and my brother-in-law. They were the first guest in my channel, and I'm always grateful for their support. May, I flew down to Ottawa to celebrate one of my close friends' birthdays and also visit family and friends. I also had excellent interviews with my Canadian mom, Ashley and Mhudi. Probably one of my favorite interviews. Not one, but some of my favorite interviews. In fact, I like all interviews, but I think, I have a few favorites for obvious reasons. So May was also really good. Now June was a dicey month. That's where things started shaking up a little bit. So I'll start with the so good news in June. In June, I found myself in uncharted waters of office politics. I don't think I've ever experienced anything like what I encountered. Started percolating in June, but the wahala that I saw eventually, but I'm gonna get to that, and I'm not gonna throw anybody under the bus, so do not worry, you're not gonna hear any names. We keep it clean in this channel. But the highlight also June that offset the drama that had started percolating was, one, my mom came to visit my siblings and I in Canada after almost 2 years of not seeing her. And then two, my sister had a second child, my wonderful baby boy, Ari Exo, who is the apple of my eye, him and his brother, of course. So those two blessings offset the drama that had started brewing in June. Now come July. July is usually my other favorite month. I do have a couple favorite months: July, November, October, and February. So July last year was not one of my favorite months, even though my mom had turned 65. My sister had celebrated her 50th wedding anniversary. There were all reasons to celebrate, and don't get me wrong, I did celebrate, but the office drama took a toll on me. It was the height. I don't think I've ever been stressed as much as I was. I was celebrating my mom's birthday in tears. I was holding my nephew, and I'm like, it's not that I don't love you, it's just aunt is going through it. Momty, not aunt. Momty. I can't even believe I said aunt. Who's aunt? Momty. Momty was going through it. So yeah. July 2023 was one for the books. Poof. Let me just say, if you don't have a supportive family and supportive friends, I pray that you do. God blesses you with that, because I don't know how I would have gotten without that month, without the tribe that I have, the strong tribe that I have. Very, very grateful for them. They covered me in prayers. They held me up when I could not stand up. And I wouldn't go into too much details. Now come August, I decided, what the heck? I'll make lemonade out of these lemons. Heck, I'll even make myself a vodka even though I don't drink. I decided that I was going to live my life. I'm not going to have this, whatever cloud that was bothering me, hang over my shoulders. I was determined to not let people that were bringing me down win. So as my mama always say, kill them with kindness, and that's what I did. I would show up to work smiling like nothing had happened, gave it my best, and outside work I decided that I was also gonna live my best life. I partook on all the summer festivities that were taking place in Edmonton. I went to a few weddings. No, I did not crash. I got invited, even though I feel like some of them were pretty invites because of the connections my aunt and cousins have. But nonetheless, I still went and I had a ball. And I went to a concert. I did go to a concert. No, that was in September. So we're going to get to September. I'm jumping ahead of myself here. So September was also a very fun month. My family, so my mom, my sister, husband, and 2 kids decided that they're going to come and cheer me up in Edmonton. So they traveled and spent time with me, which was much, much needed. And then I ended up, I did go to a concert in August, because I went to a concert before they came. I went to 2 concerts last year. This comes from a girl who had only been to 1 concert before coming to Edmonton, and now I've already been in 3 concerts. And I could probably done more, it's just I was watching my finances. And then October, things started looking up. October is also my favorite month. It's my dad's birthday, also my nephew's birthday. And guess what? I got to celebrate my nephew's birthday with him in Edmonton. I have to say this, we're going 3 in a row. I've never missed my first nephew's birthday. Every year I find a way to be wherever he is and celebrate his birthday. I hope I never have to miss any of his birthdays in the coming years. So October, really, really good. And then November, it's also one of my favorite months. It was my sister's birthday, so I flew down to Vancouver to go celebrate with her. By then, my mom had already left to go back to Tanzania to spend nice 4 months with us. Thank you, Dad, because I know it wasn't very easy to let us stay with us for this long. So talk about a selfless people. My dad is one of those people. And So I went to Vancouver, celebrated my sister's birthday with her and her family. And then my sister, my brother-in-law, and their kids, we all went down to Seattle to surprise one of my close friends for her 40th birthday. So Kabula was elated, and that trip was magical. I met new people, made new friends, reconnected with old friends. So it was a really, really good trip, and it set the tone for December. Now, before December came along, I got a chance to host my first professional panel session. Talk about things coming in full circle. Given the fact that part of the office politics that got me in murky water was me having a YouTube channel. But let's just say when God shows out, when God decides to show up, he shows out. And I also have to be extremely grateful because it was the same people at work who put me on this opportunity. So we're grateful. We're grateful for God's favor, and we're grateful for the opportunities that we get. December was kind of wrapping up how the year was, and I can't say there was anything worth highlighting in December. There were a few life changes, but nothing worth writing home about. So year in review, if I had to give 2023 a grade out of 10, I'd say 2023 was a good 6.5 out of 10. For the month of June and July, I got really, really emotionally and mentally and spiritually challenged. So I will knock 3.5 points out of that. So solid, is it a B or a C depending on who you're asking? If you're in engineering, that might be a B. If you are a social scientist, that might be, a C. C plus maybe, yeah. So that's it for the highlight and quarters. Now, the 5 things that I learned, 5 to 6 things that I learned. Number 1, pray to God to give you the gift of discernment. And discernment, it can be on any situation. For me in particular, I'm going to continuously ask God to give me the gift to discern. 1, the decision-making process, and 2, how I disseminate the information, how I share information. So 3 things: who do I share the information with, why do I share the information, and when to share the information. Very, very important. I think that was probably one of the key lessons that I learned in 2023. Depending on who you're sharing, when you're sharing, and why you're sharing, the outcomes might be very, very different without going into any details. So that's lesson number 1. Lesson number 2, kindness goes a long, long way. Kindness and being polite, rather. So treat people with kindness. I suppose that's a no-brainer. And sometimes we're forced to be kind to the people that we know, even strangers. I've seen God favor play part in the people that I least expected from strangers. So that more than anything taught me that be kind. And I've also been told the politeness, the graciousness has been one of my strongest suits, and it has been one of the reasons why certain opportunities were opened up for me. So that's one thing that I plan to cultivate, and I plan to continue implementing moving forward. So that was lesson number 2. Continue being kind, continue being polite. Number 1, seek or pray for discernment. Number 3, cultivate a very strong tribe of family and friends. And I know this is easily said and done. I just happen to be lucky that I have a very strong, close and neat family, and I lucked out in my late 20s and 30s. I have a great set of friends who are very, very supportive, and I pray that I'm equally as loving and supportive to these people. And the one thing that I think I would urge you, if you don't already have that, be the person that you want to see how other people show up in your life. If you want to have great friends, be a great friend. If you want to have a great relationship with your sister, be a great sister. It starts with you. That's, I think, the most important thing I learned as far as having a strong tribe and you being the one to take that initiative. That was lesson number 3. Lesson number 4, certain people and certain situations are temporary, and learn what are the lessons that come from those situations and be grateful, or learn to see the positive, if it all makes sense. And not all the times that there will be positive in certain situations or encounters that you have with people, but the moment you learn that certain situations and people are placed in your life for a reason and a season, and some of them are just meant to be very temporary, I feel like your life could be a whole lot better. If I'm going to be more specific, I've seen some of the friendships that I had over the last few years die down last year without any explanations. One day, a person's just not picking up the calls. You're hearing that they're saying things about you, or they're reacting to things about you, negatively about you. And normally, it's something that would crush me, which it kind of did. But the old me would have confronted the people and wondered what happened. But no, I quietly let those situations die down, wish them the best. We moved on. They moved on. I think they're amazing people, but so am I. They're going to be a blessing to somebody else, and so am I. So those situations, I let them die peacefully while I move on to new and greater heights, and so do they. I digress. And last but not least, gratitude. I think this is probably be the lesson that keeps showing up year after year after year. And it's very hard to be grateful when life is throwing curveballs at you, when life is extremely challenging. But last year, I was put in situations where it was so hard for me to be grateful to God. I wondered, what did I do to deserve to be placed in those situations? But time to time, I was also reminded, not my will, it's your will, God. Have your way. And I'll just continue being grateful. And at the end of the day, God showed up and showed out. Let's just say, you gotta trust God to God. You gotta trust, let God be God. Let him do his thing. Let's dive into the 5 pillars of, is it 5 or 6 pillars of life where I normally grade myself every year. So I'll start with the obvious one. I usually start with spiritual, because I think it's very important. My spiritual life is very important to me, and depending on how I show up spiritually, it dictates how the year is. So last year, I was a weak link. The relationship between God and I did not play my part as much as I should, and God carried me heavily. So this year, I intend to do better. If I had to give myself a grade, it was a solid 3 out of 10. I did not pray as much. I did not go to church as much. I did not tithe as much. I was just all around a very bad, well, let's just say very bad. Life was life, but it's no excuse. I could have done a whole lot better with my relationship with God, and I didn't. So this year, I intend to rectify that. Pray more, go to church, tithe, and just have a better relationship with God. So that's number 1, spiritually. Number 2, financially. Yeah. This one is, a 2 out of 10. I spent way more than I earned last year. Way more. I was just YOLOing, especially when I was depressed. I was just swiping the credit card, swiping the debit card. But won't God do it? I have not been homeless, and I hope I'm not. So the bills are paid, we thank God, and I did kind of rectify that situation. I got myself a part-time job, so I hope 2024 will be a little bit better, and I hope more blessings will show up. This is me calling on God to win a lottery, even though I don't really play lottery. I don't know how that's going to happen, but I know God is going to make a way. So financially, 2 out of 10. Spiritually, 3 out of 10. Professionally, that's a 5 out of 10. I think I grew, but I grew not for the right reasons. I grew because of the challenges that were thrown my way. I was forced to grow. It wasn't my own will to grow. I did take a few professional courses here and there, but nothing worth writing home about. And maybe I'm being hard on myself. So for that reason, I I think 5 is a fair grade because growth is just growth. It's just I wish I had taken more initiative to learn and expand knowledge and even like seek more opportunities. I just sat on my bum and just wallowed on my depression. So yeah, we're gonna do better in 2024, believe me. And then that's the third. Is it the third? We've already done spiritually, financially, professionally. So we'll start with the positive. I started the year great. I was going to the gym, I was eating well, and then come May, things started going downhill. Yeah. As you can tell, your girl is voluptuous. I've had a few people think I'm pregnant because my nose, whenever I gain weight, it's the cheek, it's the nose, and then I have eyes that sink in, so they're deep there. But at least I'm curvy, so yeah. But don't worry not. We're getting back on the treadmill. We're getting back on weight, slowly but surely. So hopefully, by mid-year, things will be looking different. I'm almost approaching 40, so taking care of my health is paramount. It's very, very important. I cannot afford YOLOing and just Jesus will take a wheel, but I also have to somehow help him steer things in the right direction. He can't do it all alone. So I'm going to play my part. So this, I'd say a solid 4.5 because I started well. It's just I could not keep up. And yeah, I need to work on my discipline, particularly self-discipline. I love to eat. I also lack the intrinsic motivation to work out when things don't go my way. So yeah, we need to work on that. But I digress. So that's category number 4. Category number 5. Emotionally and mentally. I feel like I'll wrap this up with personally too, so I can make them 5 instead of 6, because for some reasons I just don't like 6. That number is usually associated with devil things that I don't really care for. I'd give myself a solid 7 out of 10. I think that's the one part that I think I kind of did well. So a lot of curveballs were thrown my way last year within a short period of time, and how I responded to them, partly because of the support system I have, mostly because of God. I surprisingly did really, really well. I crumbled, but I definitely didn't fall. Like I tripped, but I did not fall. I picked myself up quickly and I did not wallow in my depression for too long. I became way, way emotionally stronger than I anticipated. I learned to assert boundaries. I also learned to say no a whole lot more. And here's the kicker. I did not get my heart broken. I did not chop breakfast. Hey. So, funny story. Well, it depends on who's listening, but my Edmonton family and friends, when I say usually, well, I've only been here for a year now, well, 2 years. We have a prayer and thanking God session at the end of the year where we talk about things that we're thankful for and things that we're looking forward to. So last year, I was very teary-eyed because, even though I was happy, I moved to Edmonton, life was good, but my little heart got broken there, somewhere there. I took the L quietly and, did not say anything. But this year, I am proud to say, I was not on Team Chop Breakfast. My heart did not get broken. Well, I'm going to say this year, I'm in 2023. See, I'm still living in 2023. So last year, we did not get into any of that heartbreak situation. And God forbid, there are no more heartbreaks coming in 2024 moving forward. We are going to be happily in love. And if we're not in love, we're going to be happily single. Right now, it's happily single and God has been good. So that's it for 2023 in review. I think if I had to give the year a grade, I'd say it was a 6.5 out of 10. I'd probably say 7, but maybe 6.5. 6.5 if I'm being completely fair. But I'm curious to know how your 2023 was. What were the highlights? What could you have done better? And most importantly, what are you looking for in 2024? I just look forward to being just a great person all around and do better. As Issa Rae said, do better.
What is your mantra for the new year?
To be better. It's all about being better and doing better, knowing better. Yeah, that's my big mantra. Like, I will be better.
That's what I want to do. Be better at everything that I plan to do. I'm probably going to do a video of the plans that I have, overview, high level details, because I also vowed that this is going to be my year of moving in silence. Talk less and let your actions speak more, because sometimes I find I just yap, and actions don't take place. I'm going to run a half a marathon. Have I run that half marathon? I'm going to travel to this country. Have I traveled? But this is also attributed to this. But have I made the means to actually earn that money? No. I'm going to take this course. So this year, I intend to talk less and do more. So you probably won't hear me add a lot of things, like I plan to go climb Mount Kilimanjaro. Even though it's still in the plans, but you probably won't hear me verbalize it, because maybe you'll see me climb Kilimanjaro, maybe not, but who knows. Anyways, thank you so much for tuning in. It's been a pleasure having you for the last I don't know how many minutes. I hope you stuck around throughout, and why don't you join me again in the next session? Who knows when it's going to be? Maybe next week, maybe a few weeks. Because life has just been busy, but it's been good. Have a great day, have a great week, and most importantly, have an amazing 2024. Bye-bye.